Hi, fellow traders. What's happening? I hope you guys had a good day today. And another one of these wild days for me. And it is never boring, that's for sure. So we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But I was listening to ET today, and I got the best analogy for what I'm trying to teach you guys in this roadmap to success. Now, if you haven't seen The Karate Kid, that movie, you need to see it because there's a lot of good teaching points in it. But and you remember when um, Mr. Miyagi committed to teaching Daniel karate. So the first day he came over, he's all excited, ready to learn karate. He had to wash and wax the cars. There was a specific way to put the wax on, specific way to take it off. Next day, sand the floor. So he taught him a specific way to sand the floor. And then next day, paint the fence. So there was a day, a specific way he had to paint the fence using both hands. And then he had to paint the house. And there was a specific way that he had to paint the house. And after all of this, he finally got to the point. He's like, look, I came here to learn karate. You're not teaching me. So, I'm gone. And then he called him back. And he told him to show him the motion for wax on. Showing the motion for wax off. Showing the motion for sand the floor. Then paint the fence. And then paint the house. And he showed him how everything that he was doing, even though it didn't seem like it was connected to him learning karate, was actually creating the right habits and building the right muscle memory for the foundation for that Miyagi-Do karate. And you guys, and I've been trying to since the beginning of this roadmap to success to get you to understand how important habits are and how important it is for us to create that muscle memory in our brain so that we can just do the same thing over and over again without even thinking about it. And we use up less mental energy. It keeps us fresher longer. And the exercise yesterday was just a culmination of it. And it's going to take you through some pain. It's going to take you through some heartaches, just like Daniel had to go through when he was trying to build a foundation for that karate. But when he came out of it, he was able to do things that he had no idea he knew how to do. And it just was a natural response. And that's what I'm trying to create, help you guys create. That's what this exercise is for. If you do it right and you put the work in and you're dedicated like Daniel was, you're going to learn and you're going to come out of that with skills you didn't even know you had. But they're skills that you're going to need in order to be a successful trader. And that's just the bottom line. There are people who think it's just, you don't need to learn this stuff. You don't need this. You don't need that. And that's fine. They don't have to do it. But if you want to learn from me, I'm going to teach you what I had to do, the things that I had to go through to get to where I am. And you see me go through this every day, day in and day out. As a matter of fact, next week, I'm going to do the exercise with you. I'm going to go through it and I'm going to show you how to do it. So you won't have any reason or any excuse not to go, do it and go forward. All right. So just wanted to share that with you, that you've got to trust the process. You can't rush it. If you rush it, you miss these little details and you don't have a solid foundation. You got to have a solid foundation to build off of. If you don't, your trading house will crumble down. It will come crashing down on top of you. And I know some people, I know you guys are in a hurry. You want to start making money now. And And I'm telling you, it's not about making money in the beginning. It's about learning the skills and developing the right mindset so that you can execute without fear or reservation. That's the only way you're going to be consistent making money. Now, anybody can make money. Anybody. My cat, Leo, made a winning trade. And today, as you'll see, my little lucky girl, my little kitten, got in a trade. Now, it's not winter yet. It might be before 8 o'clock. I'm giving it to 8 to see if we can, what it's going to do. But anybody can make a trade and make money on it. But the question is, can you consistently do it and put money in your pocket on a consistent basis? And that's where building the right foundation comes in. Developing the right skills, the right mindset, so that you could do this day in and day out. And it doesn't matter if you have a red day, 2 red days, 3 red days, you're going to come out on the other end on top. And that's what matters. All right, so on BA, this was the hold on, I got too much going here. All right, so BA this morning, well, actually, I'm jumping ahead. I'm moving too fast. Let's take a look at the SPY today. You can see we kind of had a flat day yesterday, a gap up, and it didn't really make that much of a move. Today, we opened red and quickly turned green and made new highs today. Almost hit 335. Almost. We're about 45 cents away. But this is what we're looking for. We had some good news that hit right at the wrong time when I was in a trade about the State Department suspending the travel. It's not a travel ban, it's a travel advisory. I think when some people use the term travel ban, and that created a flood of emotions. All the airlines jumped, the casinos jumped, the cruise lines jumped, even though they can't sail anywhere till 2021. Even they went up. So you had a lot of emotion come into the market, and then it kind of settled in, and everything's kind of back to normal now. But the market just kept going, and it kept going. So I don't foresee a pullback, but who knows? Who knows? I don't know from one day to the next what the market is going to do. All I can do is go by my technical analysis, and it's telling me that we're going to continue pushing. So that's what my technical analysis tells me. But no matter what it does, I'm going to be ready for tomorrow, ready to trade one way or the other. All right, so BA today, tried not an opening range breakout, because I was determined not to take anything at the open. I was going to wait and give it some time. And so BA it wasn't my first trade. This is my second trade. But what it did, once it went green on the day, that's what I was waiting on. And once it went green, I got in, ran up to my first target, took 2/3 off, and then it came crashing back down, stop out at break even. So not a bad look. It's just that when I got in the trade, I mean, it did exactly what I was looking for it to do, but it did not follow through on going green on the day. It actually fell back, came back red, and stayed red. So here I waited until we broke the bottom of this channel. Once we broke through, I got in. We came within about 10 cents or so of where I wanted to take my first cover, and it didn't get there. It got there and it kind of ripped back up. It never did hang around. And then this candle opened and ended up getting stopped out. It just ripped up on me. This is when the news came out. I was in this trade. It was working beautifully, as you can see. We had solid red. We were just selling. And then all of a sudden, the damn news came out that they were removing the travel advisory and all of that, and then everything just went up from there. So, that was that. But I look at my platform when I'm getting ready to put all of this together, getting ready to do my reflection and put my charts and everything on slides so I could build a file. And I see that I'm in a trade here. And you guys know how I trade. I am not going to short into a channel, the bottom of a channel or the top of a channel. I'm not going to short into it. If I was going to get in, it would have been over here, but it would have been 3:30. I wasn't going to take anything. We were already at 3 o'clock. I was pretty much done. But my little lucky girl, who's over here on the couch sleeping, evidently she walked across my keyboard and got me in a trade. Hit my little hotkey and got me in. And so I'm in this trade right now, and it's still around 172, right around in there. I don't know if it's going to sell off going into 8 o'clock or not. Who knows? And it may end up being a winner, or I may have to take it off for a little loss. It wouldn't be bad. It's not a bad thing. That's why I'm just letting it run to see if it starts to sell off a little bit, because sometimes it will do that going into 8 o'clock. But that's the deal on this. Had a no follow through here, a nice little stop out here, and then like I said, it doesn't take any smarts to get in a trade. All this was a cat walking across the keyboard. That's all it takes. And her owner to not push the keyboard tray back under the desk. So that's all I got to do, but I messed that up. So FSLY, love-hate relationship today. This was the first trade I took, and I waited. We closed below the opening range low. My order thing hung up, so it just kind of messed up. So I got in about 10 cents too late, and then all of a sudden it turned around in the middle of nowhere, ended up stopping me out. And then I waited for it rejected up here. I waited for it to come back. Went to get in, and this was on short sale restriction. So once we broke the low, I have a hot button specifically for stocks on SSR, and it filled on the other side of the low here, the bottom of this channel. But I entered when it was down here. But this is where it got me filled, and it never did follow through. Ended up stopping me out, and kind of got frustrated and flipped it long. Okay, this was a complete frustrating trade here. This is where I covered, like let's see, I bought the cover here, did BA. So I shorted here, and I bought the cover, and then I turned around and bought 500 shares. Not 300. I went to 500 shares. So I did a, this was I am pissed, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna leave it on until it moves. Because and I told you guys I was gonna do this, and I know you probably thought I was joking because I never buy into resistance. But I'm like, if it double bottoms here, this thing is probably going to trade all the way back through this resistance and go. And so, honestly, emotions got the best of me. I got pissed. And I even let it test here. I was so determined that this thing was not going to sell off. That it's on short sale restriction. They're not going to sell it off. This thing is going to bounce. And plain and simple, I got lucky. That's what it boils down to. I'm not going to even lie to you. I got lucky, and it bounced, ended up getting profit up here at the opening range low. Took more profit up through here, and then had to finally close it out. But through all of this, ended up down 176.91. And I think I had this dead to rights. And I think I was doing good until this trade here happened. I would have been rolling anywhere from $300 to $500. I should have ended the day with just rolling. But that news came out. You can't predict it. You just have to accept it and move on. And I had already gone through a revenge trade today and scared myself shitless. So I didn't have any more problems following rules anymore that day. So that's how we ended up today. Not the best. And, I may end up having to tack on another $100 and some dollars if this BA doesn't go down, before 8 o'clock. So that's that. So yesterday, closed out PayPal. 200 was our final target, and you can see this thing went up almost 205. And I kind of wish I had just not put the 200 target in and just waited to see how far it would get that day. But that's not the right thing to do. That's not the strategy. So the strategy was get the 200, the last 50 shares at 200, and then call it a day. And that's exactly what I did. So really nice gains on swings. You can go to the website and check them out. I've got the swing list updated, and you can see the active ones. We got CWH and ZS. Both of those did really poor today. Look at what CWH did. Now, we took profit at 35. We took profit at 40. I was waiting for at least maybe 45 or whatever. But if we open tomorrow below where we closed today, or at any time tomorrow, if we take out the low of today, I'm going to take the trade off and just lock in whatever profit we've got and just move on from there. So that's what I'm going to do, because I think we've already locked in some. Let's see, PayPal, almost $6,700 on PayPal. SQ was like 4,200 that we locked in. GS was 1,100. And the ones that we lost on, like INTC, we only lost like $500-600 on. But CWH, we've already got, I know, over 2,000 locked in. So, it wouldn't get to where I wanted it to, but hell, I'll take it. For a swing, that's a nice base hit. And this is ZS. I'm definitely taking this off tomorrow. Regardless, if it opens below where we close the day, I'm taking it off at the open. If at any time during the day it dips below yesterday's close or today's close price, I'm taking it off. But if it turns around and pushes up a little bit, at the end of the day, I'm going to take it off. I'm not leaving this on over the weekend. This did make a nice move. I think my entry is like 131.70 or something. And it did make a move up through 135, but it just didn't get. 137.50 was my first target. And it just didn't get there. So it did make a decent move. It just didn't get to where I was looking for it to get. So this may end up being a small red trade for us. But as you see, all of the swings that we've done, we've managed our risk. On the ones that didn't do so well, like INTC, that wasn't a big loss. CHGG, all of these were under $1,000 losses. So not upset at all. All right, so that's gonna do it. Wrap it up. We'll come back tomorrow morning, try to close out the week strong. It's been a really crazy week. There's no telling what we're gonna wake up to tomorrow. So every day is an adventure in this market for sure. So you guys have a great night, a great evening, and I will catch you tomorrow.